Imagine yourself high above the field in a gigantic stadium, so far up that the players look like ants. You're sitting in the nosebleed section during the most important game of the year. The crowd is roaring, the atmosphere is electric, and then something insane happens. The announcer suddenly yells that a blimp is about to drop $10 million in brand new currency directly into the crowd. Your heart jumps. This could change your life. You look up, hands ready, adrenaline pumping, imagining how even a small stack of bills could finally give you some breathing room. But then reality kicks in. You notice where the blimp is hovering. It's not above you. It's floating directly over the luxury boxes, the VIP section, the glass-enclosed suites where billionaires, politicians, hedge fund managers, and corporate executives are sipping champagne. Physics does the rest. The money starts falling, but it doesn't drift evenly. The people closest to the drop point simply open their windows and scoop it up before gravity and wind can carry it anywhere else. Down in those luxury boxes, there's chaos, in a good way. They laugh, they cheer, they immediately head to private bars, exclusive merchandise shops, and high-end concession stands. They buy everything instantly, at yesterday's prices. Premium food, collectibles, memorabilia, gone in minutes. They didn't earn this money through extra work or sacrifice. They were just standing in the right place at the right time. Now think about you. You're still way up in the cheap seats. By the time a few wrinkled bills finally float into your section, the situation has completely changed. The vendors have realized they're out of stock. To restock, they now have to pay more because demand exploded all at once. Prices spike overnight. That hot dog that used to cost $5 now costs $15. The championship hat you wanted? Sold out. You didn't get richer. Your money arrived late, already weakened. While the VIPs bought real goods at a discount, you paid more for less. That difference is not bad luck. It's not personal failure. It's not because you didn't work hard enough. You just experienced the core mechanic of the modern economy. This process has a name, the Cantillon Effect. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. My name is Alex, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time staring at charts, data, and economic history, trying to understand why grinding harder doesn't feel like it leads anywhere anymore. If you feel like you're running faster every year just to stay in the same place, like your paycheck never really catches up, make sure to subscribe and hit like, because we're about to break down the invisible engine that quietly transfers wealth upward. Here's the first truth most people never learn about money. Money is not neutral. We're taught to believe that when governments print money, it spreads evenly across the economy, that everyone's bank balance rises proportionally and prices calmly adjust. That story is comforting and completely false. Money doesn't appear everywhere at once. It enters at specific points, and whoever touches it first has a massive advantage. Back in the 1700s, a French-Irish economist named Richard Cantillon noticed something strange. When new gold entered an economy, not everyone benefited equally. The people closest to the source, the king, the court, bankers, landowners, and merchants, got rich first. Farmers and workers saw higher prices before they ever saw higher wages. Cantillon realized money behaves less like air and more like water. Where it enters matters more than how much there is. Fast forward to today. The king has been replaced by central banks. Gold has been replaced by digital credit, and the printing press now runs on servers. When a central bank decides to stimulate the economy, it doesn't wire money to regular people. It creates trillions of dollars electronically and uses that money to buy financial assets, mostly from massive banks and institutions. This means the new money enters the system at the top, not the bottom. Banks, corporations, hedge funds, and asset managers are the first to receive it, and crucially, they receive it before prices fully adjust. Let's look at the math. Imagine $1 trillion of new credit is injected into the financial system. A large investment firm gets access to this capital at near zero interest rates. With this fresh money, they buy thousands of homes, massive plots of land, stocks, and commodities. They are effectively buying future assets using newly created money at yesterday's prices. This is how asset inflation is born. Stock prices rise, housing prices explode, land becomes scarce, not because productivity suddenly doubled, but because more money is chasing the same limited assets. If you already own these assets, you feel richer without doing anything. If you don't, the latter gets pulled further away. For wealthy asset owners, the Cantillon effect is a blessing. For wage earners, it's a slow-motion disaster. As money moves from banks to corporations and finally to workers, it loses purchasing power at every step. By the time it reaches your paycheck in the form of a cost of living raise, the damage is already done. Housing is more expensive, stocks are at all-time highs. Corporations used cheap debt to buy back shares. Entire neighborhoods were bought by institutions before you even had a chance to bid. You are the last receiver, and the last receiver always pays the highest price. This explains a shocking statistic. Since the late 1970s, worker productivity has increased by over 60%, but real wages have barely grown. That gap isn't just greed, it's structural. It's the Cantillon effect quietly redirecting the gains of growth away from labor and into assets. Psychologically, this is brutal. You save money, yet feel poorer. You do everything right, but milestones like owning a home or building security keep drifting further away. It makes you doubt yourself. That's the gaslighting effect of inflation. In reality, this system functions like a hidden tax, a tax that hits the poor and middle class hardest. These groups spend most of their income on necessities, rent, food, fuel. When prices rise, they feel it immediately. Wealthy individuals, who spend proportionately less on essentials and more on assets, barely notice. Combined with consumer pressure and social spending expectations, this becomes a perfect storm. Your savings lose value, and you're encouraged to spend what's left. So what's the solution? Give up? Absolutely not. Understanding the Cantillon effect isn't meant to make you angry, it's meant to make you strategic. You can't stop the money flow, but you can change where you stand. The biggest mistake is trying to save your way to wealth in a currency that's constantly being diluted. Cash is not safety, it's exposure. Standing still in cash is like standing at the bottom of a waterfall, hoping it won't erode you. To win, you must shift roles. Stop being only an earner, become an owner. Scarce assets, real estate, broad market index funds, certain commodities float upward as money supply expands. They can't be printed. That's why the wealthy love them. Owning assets means your net worth rises with inflation instead of being crushed by it. Debt, when used correctly, also flips the script. Fixed-rate debt in an inflationary system is powerful. You borrow strong dollars today and repay weaker dollars tomorrow. You are effectively betting against the currency. The system punishes savers and rewards asset-owning debtors. It feels wrong, but that's how the game is designed. The final piece is income velocity. Fixed wages adjust last. Business owners, freelancers, and people with rare, in-demand skills can raise prices faster. Your labor is an asset. Don't let it depreciate. You now have a choice. Stay in the nosebleed seats watching others scoop up opportunity, or move closer to the source. If this explanation connects dots that have frustrated you for years, hit like. Follow Alex for more ways to stop paying the hidden inflation tax. I'll see you in the next one.